in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's BBC Radio 1's Residency. One day, years ago, 3 superstar DJs fell to earth. Their only goal was to save the world one set at a time. Now, they've joined forces to become the defenders of Radio 1's Residency. They are Chucky, louder than a sonic boom. Heidi, deeper than the infinity of space and time. But this week it's Kutski, defender of the hardest beats, champion of the decks, a valiant, courageous fighter against the evil forces of anything under 140 beats per minute.
This program might contain strong language. If you think you may be offended, switch off now.
Yes, it's Kutski taking over the airwaves back on Radio 1. Many thanks to Grimmy. But now we're going in for the hard beats as we like to do. Thursday night, midnight until 2 a.m. You're in tune to Radio 1's Residency. 3 DJs on rotation. And this week I take over the airwaves and we go in hard. We're live and direct in the studio and we want to hear from you wherever you are, whatever you're doing. 81199 is the number on the text. Get in touch. But now let's get straight into the music.
DJ Kutski, BPMs faster than a subatomic particle accelerator.
Let's go.
Yes, the beats are hard and fast tonight, and they are only going to get harder and faster because we've got a big show lined up for you, representing all the harder styles. Kicking things off with the techie stuff. This one in the background now, Project Tech, track called Placed, which is forthcoming on Audio Surgery, Organ Donors label. Big label for this sound. We've got the Residents Association coming up at about past, where we're going to be touching base with a club up in Newcastle, Vice. We're going to be talking to the resident DJs from there. Loads of new hardstyle beats coming up. Of course, it was DEF CON last weekend out in Holland, one of the big events for the harder styles. So I had a little dart around all the arenas there, picking up some promos off the DJs so we can be nice and fresh tonight. We've got the cheesiest record in the world instead of the hardest record this week, because I'm going to bow down and not even try and compete with our guest in the mix. Coming up later, sounds the one and only Angerfist.
But yours is a full grind. You're making me dizzy, pumping the junk into my mind.
Okay, let's get some shouts on the go from the text crew. Been in touch on 81199. Big shout to Dan Collins and the Hive crew. Shout to John Paul, Mary Hill. Just found out he's going to be a dad. Congratulations, man. I know there's a raver baby joke in there, but I'm going to steer clear. Also shout to JJ Maguire and big shout to Johnny in Ayrshire. Said very much looking forward to Creamfields. Of course, the extra hard arena there, where we'll all be representing the toughest beats. It's going to be good fun. 81199 on the text if you want to shout. Right now we're going back in the mix. Sounds of Acti with Pantre, and you're in tune to Radio 1's Residency. Yes, it's Kutski, BBC Radio 1. And right now I'm joined in the studio by someone who this track won't be unfamiliar with. Jordan Suckley from In New DJs. How's it going, man?
How's it going? You're keeping me a hostage, aren't you?
Holding you hostage. It's like, you know, like we say, it's the unofficial start to the weekend. And you were on earlier tonight on In New DJs. How was the show?
Yeah, fantastic, man. 9 till 10. Love it. Absolutely love it. I mean, still quite relatively new for me, isn't it? But absolutely loving it. Great buzz.
And what are you up to this weekend? I mean, this is obviously the first gig for the weekend, isn't it?
Definitely.
So where does it go from here?
It feels like a gig when you do the show, doesn't it? I'm off to Manchester on Saturday, playing back-to-back with Sam Patterson at Wrong. Can't wait, man. Oh, Friday, sorry, it is.
Friday, yeah. And Patterson's a good friend of yours, isn't it? It's kind of, and of course, you know, like I say, this is the joining of the families because you know the joint between the hard music and trance music at the moment, not a million miles apart.
Yeah, loving it.
And that's what it's all about. So, if people want to catch your show in the future, you're on the 4th.
Yeah, the 4th Thursday of the month, 9 till 10 p.m. Yeah, four of us on rotation for In New DJs We Trust. Yeah.
So if you want to catch all the freshest trance beats, that's the place to do it with Jordan. Big respect.
Cheers.
Holding him hostage till the end of the show.
DJ Kutski, BPMs faster than the speed of sound.
Yeah, we're gonna bring all those memories back.
Yes, we're raising the tempo now as we go in just that little bit harder. Coming up on the show, we've got music from Headhunterz, from Nice Party. You might be thinking, not necessarily Kutski music. I'll explain, don't worry. Evil Activities. We've got the Resident Association, where we're going to be catching up with the residents from Vice, Vicky Vegas and Kerry James. And as we've been teasing throughout the show so far, at 1 a.m, the guest mix from the one and only Angerfist. Text lines are open, 81199, it's the place to be. We want to know why you're out raving this Thursday night. Where are you? What are you up to? 81199.
DJ Kutski, BPMs faster than a speeding bullet.
This is a journey into sound.
Hitler's rules. And we knew all the while. We had to call it Hardstyle. Journey into sound.
Track in the background now, little something by Noisecontrollers from their album. This one's entitled Pillars of Creation. Lovely melodies, floaty stuff on this one. Before that, trip to the old school with Technoboy, Nothing New. And we kicked off the bouncy hardstyle mix with Showtek Memories. Some quick shouts to the text crew. Shout to Charlie in Fort William, raving away on a forklift truck. Be careful, mate. I'm not sure that's really the place for raving, but glad you're enjoying the show. Shout to Ollie in South London, loving the hard beats. Shout to Ben in Derby, first time listener, loving the tunes. Also big up to Matty Hughes in North Wales and the Rush crew, blasting out Kutski all the way out in Rotterdam. No doubt tuned in for the guest mix coming up at the top of the hour, sounds of Angerfist. Right now, we go back in for the sounds of Hardstyle. It's the Residency on Radio 1.
BBC Radio 1's Residency with Kutski.
As we move on in the mix, next up I've got a track from Brennan Hart, something doing the damage on the dance floors for me. And coming up after that, the Residents Association.
The fact I'm running late, 'cause time I underrate. But then I come, shake your house like I'm the earthquake.
Winding up the mix in the background now, something from Brennan Hart entitled Running Late. Big tune for me, out on the dance floors at the moment, festival stuff. As we move into our next feature that we call the Residents Association.
Residents Association on BBC Radio 1.
And this week we're going to be inducting two lovely ladies that run a night called Vice. So we've got Kerry James and Vicky Vegas on the phone. How's it going, girls?
Great, it's going great. Hi, Kutski, this is Kerry. This is Vicky.
So you guys are DJs for a night called Vice. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that night? Where is it? And, you know, kind of what's the music that's played there?
It's been running in Newcastle now for the past 4 years. It's every month. And really the Vice is sort of all about hard dance, everything from hard house right through to hard style. And it's just really sort of just about the atmosphere, the people, just one hell of a brilliant night, really, in our opinion.
And as a resident DJ, which DJs have you warmed up for? You know, what type of guest DJs do you get in on the night?
Oh, God, where to start, to be honest? I mean, you, obviously, pretty much nearly everybody. Andy Whitby, Alex Kidd, Lisa Pinup, Bob Cesara, Amber D, basically tried to have everybody that has ever existed in the hard dance world over the last 4 years. It would probably be harder to say who you haven't warmed up for.
Oh, that's amazing. Like, I know, obviously, because I've played up there before, the incredible vibe and incredible atmosphere. And I always say it's a very different job to be a resident DJ than it is to be the guest DJ. I mean, you guys are obviously residents for the night. What's your favourite thing about being a resident DJ?
I suppose the main thing is just sort of like being part of a night, building the night, looking out, seeing the same sort of loyal fan base building. The atmosphere that we have at Vice is second to none in Newcastle. There's not a night like it. There's not another monthly hard dance night going like we are. And I think really another thing we should do is a big shout out to all the Vice clubbers that really who have been supporting us over the last 4 years as well, because we couldn't do this without them. Yeah.
So we know what the best thing about being a resident DJ is, and I always have to ask, what do you think the worst thing about being a resident DJ is?
Oh, God. Well, to be perfectly honest, I think trying to stay sober throughout the night is probably the worst thing.
I think that's the problem that every DJ has. It's not just a resident thing.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. So you're going to play us a track now that represents the sounds of Vice in Newcastle. What have you got for us?
Right, if there was ever a tune to sum up Vice, this is definitely it, right? It's Passion, the MDA Spherical mix, and it absolutely rocks us everything about Vice. This is played at nearly every Vice event, and if you ever want to see a club go off, this is it. This is the track.
Kerry James, Vicky Vegas, you are now members of the Residents Association.
Yay!
Residents Association.
thanks to Vicky and Kerry from Vice up in Newcastle, who are our resident DJs for this week. If you're ever up in the area, definitely a night worth checking out if you like your beats hard and fast. That's what it's all about. Amazing vibe and amazing atmosphere, as the girls said. But now I'm going to drop some different flavours on you.
Kutski beats stronger than a hurricane.
So we all know Knife Party, a kind of, real flavour of the month, like the big acting dance music, crossing over a lot of different scenes. And you may be thinking, well, what are they doing on the, with the hardstyle and hardcore show? But I think there's a lot of crossover stuff at the moment. Guys like Noisecontrollers are using a lot of, dubstep sounds in their tracks. And something a little bit different in this Knife Party track on their new EP. They're actually using hardstyle and gabba kicks. So I thought it's worth bigging up the guys. That isn't any dubstep flavours there. That's all about the hard kick, the hard distorted force. From their new EP, this is definitely doing the damage. I'm playing out in my sets, all different styles of music, and it always goes off. Sounds a nice party. This is Bonfire on Radio 1. Turn it up. Something a little bit different there for your Knife Party Bonfire. Dubby vibes with hardcore kicks. Nice mashup, I like it. And this is the part of the show where we normally go really hard and dark on you as we go in for the hardest record in the world. Well, I've got a problem this week. You see, I got Angerfist in for a guest mix. And I kind of thought, how can I play harder than this guy? I mean, this guy, he's just the hardest of the hardest of the hard from Holland. So I'm not even going to embarrass myself by trying to do it. And everybody's self-indulgent thing in dance music really is everybody loves happy hardcore. Even the coolest people, they might try and pretend that they don't, but I think they do, and there's something self-indulgent about it. So this week I'm going for my favourite cheesy tune of all time in the cheesiest record in the world right now.
Yes, Kutski, this is the cheesiest record in the world right now!
We're going back to the 90s. One of my favourite record labels coming out of Holland had a cartoon penguin on the front of it, which I think just sums up how cheesy the track is. But it still hasn't lost any of its charm over the years. I could listen to this on loop all day and I would never get bored of it. Sounds of Fortune Fairytales. This is My Little Fantasy.
Hope you're ready to get your glow sticks and your boob tubes out. We're going raving! Woo!
as I say, old happy hardcore from the 90s. It's kind of my guilty pleasure in music, but I'm not embarrassed about it. I love it. I still do now. But if you've got a guilty pleasure in music that you kind of, you're a little bit embarrassed, something on your iPod that you wouldn't really want your cool mates to see, let us know. Text 81199, what's your guilty pleasure, as we go back in for the cheesiest record in the world. A guilty pleasure track for me. Fortune Fairytales, My Little Fantasy. And if you're kind of thinking, quit with the cheese, Kutski, what's all this about? You're supposed to be playing hard beats. Don't worry, 15 minutes time, we've got Angerfist, the polar opposite of this. You really can't listen to this music and just not feel happy. Take you back to your youth. I remember when I first heard this tune back in the day, it was all the elements of music that I wanted. It was happy, it was fast, it was driving, and still holds a strong place in my heart right now. Sounds of Pengo Records.
Ready to groove.
Radio 1. Kutski plays hard dance and hardcore.
So we've had some brilliant text through on 81199 about guilty pleasures in music. John in Preston agrees with me. He said I had this cheesy tune in brackets, so he's with me. It's like, you know, not too cheesy at all. He said he had it on a tape pack back in the day and loves it. And then, you know, if I should have been embarrassed at all, Harley in Hereford, Justin Bieber. What's all that about? Speechless. John in Belfast says Faith Hill. That's okay, I'll let you have that. Mike in Eastbourne says Hixie more and more. The classic Hixie stuff, you know, it was cheesy, but it was amazing. You know, Hixie was one of the DJs that originally got me into DJing. So, cheese, yes, but I'll not have a bad word said about it. Love it. But now we're going straight into the mix again.
Disco stick.
You just heard a track from Fairytales, one of the new artists kicking out of Holland at the moment, causing big waves. Support by Headhunterz and D-Block and Estefan. As we move on in the mix to the more bouncy stuff from the sounds of Theracords. This is Geck-o with Disco Stick. You're in tune to Radio 1, it's the Residency with Kutski.
Kutski's beats, scarier than a bat out of hell.
Disco stick.
By the insatiable need of fulfilling our desires. As we begin to run out of natural resources, our lust for material things has been growing stronger, driving us to use our Earth's magnetic field as our last source of energy. Amidst the chaos, two individuals awaken with a single mission: to combine and create the perfect weapon.
Constructing a lock.
that you found a girl and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true. Guess she gave you things I didn't give to you. Old friend, why you so shy? Ain't like you to hold back or hide from the life. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away, I couldn't fight it, and I'd hoped to see my face and that you'd be reminded that for me it isn't over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts
Yes, tearing out with the raw stuff right now. Didn't see this one coming after Adele, did you? The Prophet DJ Tool. This is a little something that he made for his sets at Black and Def Con. Now they're out the way, he kindly passed it over for the radio show. So fresh and direct. Sure, this is going to be doing some damage at the festivals for me over the summer now.
Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead.
Some more shouts for all the late night ravers out there. Shout to Ellie, who says banging set at Def Con Kutski. Cheers, good to see so many friendly faces out there. She says roll on Angerfist, bring the hardcore. Lots of excited people for Angerfist. Shout to Dale and Jessica in London, can't wait for Angerfist. And also on Facebook, Alan says ready for Angerfist, bring on the hardcore. Coming up very shortly, top of the hour. We're going hard, trust me.
Dumpy Nation.
Okay, next up, it's time for our guest mix that we've been hyping, and there has been a lot of waves over the internet today with people talking excited about this one, as we've got Angerfist on the phone. How's it going, sir?
Very good, very good. How you doing?
All good, mate, all good. Excited to get some hardcore on the radio. So, for anybody that might be, driving home from work right now, they've just tuned onto the radio and they don't know anything about Angerfist or the sound, can you describe your music for us?
How to describe the music? It's Dutch hardcore techno. It's nasty bass drums, fast BPMs, uplifting melodies, and just straight up hardcore,
That's what it's all about. And you've been really spreading the word of hardcore. I mean, tell us about some of the gigs that you've been doing recently, because I was looking at your tour diary and it's not just a Dutch or European thing anymore. I mean, I saw you played a gig in Korea recently.
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago. We played in Korea, the live act. It was really special. Yeah, for us also something totally new, This Asia, we never played there before, and it was really epic, especially the crowd, We were really surprised how many people were into hardcore over there. Yeah, it was totally epic. The whole trip was awesome.
So do you think hardcore's really expanding? Do you think it's going to, grow and become bigger as a worldwide, phenomenon?
Yeah, for sure. We totally get it. Everywhere we go, it's like seriously growing, Especially also outside of Europe. Now we have this USA tour planned in September. It's really big tour, much bigger than last year, and we can really see that really growing worldwide.
Yeah, and as well, because I have to mention the top 100 DJs thing. I mean, everyone takes these polls with a pinch of salt, but it's definitely a representation of how people are feeling. And you came really high in the poll, and this is, out of all the DJs worldwide, and you came, was it number 39 last year?
Yeah, 39, yeah. We were also totally surprised about that, honestly.
Because that was a bit above some big household names in kind of house and trance and the more mainstream music, and then to see a hardcore act flying the flag so high, that really caught people by surprise. I mean, do you think you're going to move up in the poll this year?
I hope so. I really hope so. Yeah. I'm going to do the do the best I can, try to promote a little, and we'll see where it ends this year. I hope we're going to get higher in the top 100, of course.
I'm sure with the legions of followers that you've got online, it'll be world domination, mate. You've done us an exclusive 30-minute mix full of material. Can you tell us what's going to be coming up in this mix?
So I played some of my own tracks, some crossbreed stuff, even some drum and bass. Just a very diverse mix, 30 minutes of rage.
Amazing stuff. Radio 1, the nation, get ready and raise your fist for the sounds of Angerfist.
Rising up like the flames of a phoenix. Raising my fist and prepare for the remix.
And as we mentioned at the top of the show, this is quite an extreme mix with some extreme language in it too. So if you think you may be offended, you might want to check out another station for a few minutes and come back at 5:30. But for the hardcore crew, we're going in hard with the sounds of Angerfist.
It's the guest mix on BBC Radio 1's Residency.
Rising up like the flames of a phoenix, raising my fist and prepare for the remix. Always trying to find a way to better me. rising up like the flames of a phoenix, raising my fist and prepare for the remix.
Это только начало.
Зарою тебя всем валяться давай. Ну,
Платят не люди, а души. А души терзать не могут, терзают черти. Черти, 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 черти.
Подожди, это только начало.
For me and my superhero complex. Superhero complex. The year he fell to pieces. And ironically, this was the year when more people than he knew even existed scrambled to put him back together again. As they tried, they didn't notice that he was smiling. He was smiling his ass off. No pun intended. Oh, what have we become? Oh, what have you become? I can still hear the voices in your head. The choices they've chosen to choose temporarily impaired me. I'm terribly proud. If you don't turn it up louder, I'm breaking out. to know what I'm doing, but there won't be no alarm when we sound up the movement. The music ain't loud enough. When I talk, not allowed to kick the feet up and sleep until it's done. And I hold his hand as I walk him across the street. Got caught inside of a self-taught, it just don't stop.
I move like water, I go with the flow. I go back to old school, I go back to home. But this is not the start of the show. Never worry, that is the way that I roll. I'm a bad man, what is it? Let me say again. You can try copy like a slave to a trend. Nothing they can say and nothing they can do. It's no problem for me, but it's a problem for you.
Yes, it's BBC Radio 1's Residency, Thursday night into Friday morning. And right now we're in the thick of a hard and heavy guest mix. Sounds of the one and only Angerfist. If you like your music hard and fast, this is where it is and this is what it's all about. Text lines are open on 81199 if you want to get a shout. Let us know if you're feeling the beats. Or maybe you've never heard of Angerfist before and you've heard this for the first time. I want to know what you think of it. 81199 on the text. It's Kutski Radio 1.
Guest mix on BBC Radio 1's Residency.
Nature's craftiest trick.
I'm a demon.
Yeah. Break and wreck, leave you 6 feet deep, bitch. Now that I'm running with him, watch how you speaking. Cause you don't wanna fuck around with a street kid. Yeah.
You better watch who you peace with. Break and wreck, leave you 6 feet deep, bitch.
Now that I'm running with him, watch how you speaking. Cause you don't wanna fuck around with a street kid.
Yeah. I can kill a man, we using just sentences. I can kill a man, we using just sentences. I can kill a man, we using just sentences. Y'all see me, I ain't a ghost, I'm a demon. 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 I ain't a ghost, I'm a demon. I'm a demon. I ain't a ghost, I'm a demon. I ain't a ghost, I'm a demon. Watch how you speak, kid, cause you don't wanna fuck around with a street kid. Yeah.
And the internet is going crazy at the moment for the sounds of Angerfist. Shouts to the Twitter crew, shouts to Tom, says raise your fist for Angerfist. Shout to Sam, who says his ears are about to explode, in a good way I hope. Nate, loving the show, never ceases to amaze me, big up. Grizzly says raise your fist. Kieran, Angerfist to send me to sleep, that is all. I'm not going to go to sleep listening to this, are you? It's not happening. Shout to Kirsty, who also says plans for sleeping are out the window now. Raise your fist. Connor says smashing it, loving the late night rave beats.
The pledge to resist. We believe is our
And shouts to Michael, laying in bed listening to Radio 1, says may as well not go to sleep. I agree with that. It's not worth it now. It's Friday, isn't it? It's practically the weekend. It's all good.
War. There can be no more deaths, no more transfusions of blood for oil. Not in our name. Will you invade countries, bomb civilians, kill more children, letting history take its course over the graves of the nameless, 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 nameless.
Resistance.
And we've been noticing on Twitter a lot of people using the hashtag raise your fist. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could get that trending worldwide? Gabba on Radio 1. Raise your fist to Angerfist. It's the Residency.
It's the guest mix on BBC Radio 1's Residency.
Not by our will and not in our name. We pledge resistance. We pledge alliance with those who have undergone attack for voicing opposition to the war or for their religion or ethnicity. We pledge to make common cause with the people of the world to bring about justice, freedom, and peace. Another world is possible, and we pledge to make it real.
He's laughing his sick fucking ass off. Yes! Wow! Oh, yeah! Yeah! Step on up, son! Come on, let's do it! You gotta hold on to that fury!
On the text as well, with love for Angerfist. Will in Devon says, never heard Angerfist before, but they are absolutely amazing, love it. Shout to Lilka in Florida, who's tuned in for the first time and loving it. That's from Richard in Essex. Angerfist dropping them hard and fast, that's from Jared. Angerfist, hearing it for the first time, absolutely loving it. And that's from Tom in Salford. Angerfist completely destroying the CD player. That's from Donkey in Edinburgh. And trust me, it's only getting harder and faster. Angerfist in the mix, Radio 1.
Guest mix on BBC Radio 1's Residency.
I'm gonna put you in the fucking ground. The fucking ground.
Yesterday, I went in front of all the skippers and cocksucker Sonny Red all around. I went on a record with you. You know what that means? I think I do. You do? You ain't got no fucking idea, my friend. Nobody can touch you now. Nobody can touch you now. With you. You don't walk out on me. Fucking idea, my friend. Nobody can touch you now. Nobody can touch you.
Kutski. Radio 1. Kutski.
And what am I supposed to play after that? Big respect to Angerfist. For, it's like not me can say, it's tore up there. I don't even know what words to use to describe what just happened for the last half hour on national radio. Absolutely massive stuff. Angerfist, we raise our fist to you, sir. We salute you.
Hardcore. Know the score.
It drives me crazy. I wanna scream. I'm telling people, listen, I see shit in my dreams. They don't believe me. It's on their face. They think I'm mad from the way that I relate this. Everything I see, final destination, a hideaway from me. It cuts deep, I can't hold back. They think I'm going mad, I'm not a maniac.
you're feeling that your weekend's well and truly kicked off now, Radio 1 tomorrow night continues the party. Annie Mac at 7 with highlights from Median and Subfocus. Pete Tong at 9 with live set from Calvin Harris and an exclusive interview with Swedish House Mafia about their breakup. I've heard stuff about this, but I'm out the loop myself. I'll be definitely tuned in for that one. Catch up on the goss. From 11, Scream and Benga. Highlights from Hackney. They've got Chase and Status's set and the extended Essential Mix. Can't promise you're going to get anything quite like Angerfist tomorrow night, but if you're into your dance music, there's going to be something there for you, definitely. But right now, we're going back into the mix. I've never heard hardcore sound so slow after Angerfist. We're going into the UK hardcore mix. This is Kutski on the Residency.
drop it down.
Yes, it's Kutski, BBC Radio 1's Residency, taking over the airwaves with the hard beats. And we've got some more shouts from the text crew, 81199. RH6 crew all day long on the text. Shout to Gary, who says, loving the Miss Kate and Predator track. Somebody IDing Angerfist guest mix. And don't forget, if you want to get the full track listing for everything you heard in his mix, Radio 1 website is the place to be. Also shout to Jamie from Glasgow, says been listening to Angerfist for 6 years. I remember getting his first ever record in like 2001, 2002. Knew the guy was going to be a big hit. And from one massive European hardcore act to another, this is the brand new Evil Activities.
It's alright, this is your time, you're allowed, don't let go, and seize the day, follow your heart, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's alright, it's alright. This is your time, this is your time. You're alive, you're alive. Don't let go, don't let go. And seize the day, seize the day. Follow your heart, forget the pain. It's okay.
It's Okay. Brand new Evil Activities, forthcoming on Neophyte Records. I think this is the closest to hardness I can get to Angerfist this week. Nowhere near. Can't touch the guy. You're in tune to Radio 1's Residency. In case you were wondering what this random noise that's been fired through your speakers for the last 2 hours has been. It's basically 3 DJs on rotation. We take it in turns each week and we all bring you our specialist corner of the dance music scene. Heidi representing the techno vibes. And up next week is the man like Chucky, who represents the dirty Dutch house scene. And he's dropped us a little track, a little teaser of what we can expect to hear on his show next week. Let's check out what he's got for us.
It's The Residency on BBC Radio 1.
Stuff from Chucky. You can see Jordan Suckley on the other side of the studio looking a bit more in his comfort zone now. Big respect to Chucky. If you're feeling these beats, make sure you're locked into the Residency. Next week, Thursday night at midnight, taking you through till 2. With all the finest house beats in the background like this. I mean, you listen to this? It's really not a million miles away from what we play on this show. Bridging the gaps. That's what we like.
Yeah.
Ready to groove.
Radio 1.
Kutski plays hard dance and hardcore.
But we've got 10 minutes before Toddler takes over the airwaves. And there's no better excuse to go back to the old school, back to the early 90s. When hardcore was on much more of a breakbeat vibe in the UK. And we're going to rinse out some classics. This one in the background. If you don't know, get to know. Alternate, activate.
Hey, Kutski, let's take it back to the old school. Get rented in the earth!
Get up, man! Get up!
Charlie says, always tell your mummy before you go off somewhere.
Who out there remembers this one? Prodigy classic from 1991, if my memory serves me correctly. From The Experience, one of my favourite albums.
Charlie says, always tell your mummy before you go off somewhere.
Of course, it's Prodigy with Charlie. And that almost brings it to a close. Never fails to shock me how fast this 2 hours goes. Maybe it's supposed to do with the speed of the beats, makes time go faster or something. But we've had great fun. Thanks to everyone who got in touch with the show. Crazy text, Facebook and Twitter interaction. And big thanks to the guests on the show, this week's residents, Kerry and Vicky from Vice. And of course, the mass crew that is Angerfist, representing Dutch hardcore at its finest. I think everyone enjoyed that, even if they were new to it, even if you're not into the hard beats. I think, it was a lesson in how hard dance music can go. Next up on Radio 1, Toddler T taking you through till 4 a.m, and he's got more highlights from Hackney.
Before you go somewhere.
But I'm going to leave you on the old school tip. Chucky's going to be taking over the Residency next week, and I'm going to be back in 3 weeks from now with more of the same hard and fast on Radio 1. This is Kutski signing out. Catch you in a few weeks.